Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge we have from 1984. Well, of course, not this bottle or the other one for that introduction. To introduce to 1984 Blanton Single Barrel 93 proof. This is the original single barrel. Thank you, Sonia, for giving me this bottle. I got to clean it off. And then we have Cooper's Craft, introduced in 2016, 4 short years ago, 82.2 proof. Brown-Forman, you know, you Jack Daniels people. Buffalo Trace, your Buffalo Trace people. Sazerac, rye whiskey people. It's actually Sazerac. Well, of course, Sazerac products are very big here because their headquarters is on Magazine Street, New Orleans, right on the corner of St. Charles, New Orleans. And so we get our guests more attention with their products here. Like you'll see billboards on every major highway around New Orleans advertising Taka. That's the billboard you see, Taka. How we party. You'll say Taka Vodka, how we party. Or Taka mixes easy, just add people. I've been seeing that since I was 5 years old. I couldn't even read. I'd ask my mother about, what does that say? I remember telling my parents one time, boy, Taka must be a really good vodka because I see their billboards all over. And they said, no, it's inexpensive, but they weren't sitting there researching the history of it. But anyway, so we have Buffalo Trace. That was introduced or rebranded Buffalo Trace in 1992. That distillery, the Blanton's distillery, was really Shinley Industries distillery. I guess the new owners figured Shinley Industries didn't roll off the tongue. So nice. I can't wait to go get some Shinley Industries bourbon. So they decided Shinley didn't own it anymore anyway, so they didn't want to call it Gold Ring bourbon. So they chose Buffalo Trace. And that's another story for another day. So here we got the Blanton's 93. No age statement. Good morning. What do you think about Natty Daddy, says Justin Hopkins. I like Natty Daddy, and I think it's well made, but it's too strong for me. I wouldn't drink it all the time. Like natural ice, yeah, I'll drink that every day. That's like perfect, 5.9. Natty Daddy, the natural father, too strong for this guy. Maybe I'm weak. Okay, I'll admit it. Good morning, Ron, says Maxwell. Hello, Maxwell from the Russian Federation. Yes, I did own Mustangs. He was talking to me on Facebook about Ford Mustangs. The best one I had was the 93 Mustang LX because it got good gas mileage, like 32 miles to the gallon on the interstate. It was all blue. I don't know what that deal was. It was like everything was royal blue. Interior, vinyl trim, the dashboard, the seats, the carpet, the exterior. Those vinyl is royal blue metallic. It was really nice looking. Had those, I think it was 12-hole sports wheels, LX sports wheels, 5-speed manual transmission. Oh, well. I had some other Mustangs. Well, the 81 was good. It was used when I bought it. The 81 Mustang. They didn't have LX or anything back then. They just say Mustang. They had the Cobra trim, but of course I didn't have a Cobra. The 81 was good, 4-speed. Air conditioner was cold. The 89 wasn't too good. The 2001 had some problems. But anyway, I don't have any Mustangs anymore. Cooper's Craft, introduced in 2016, 82.2. It's filtered through beech and birch charcoal. Beech, that's their calling card. We're filtered through beech and birch charcoal. Does that make it better? Have I noticed that? It's different. I don't know about better. It's different. Jack Daniels is mellowed. They don't say filtered. Mellowed through sugar maple charcoal, but that's what it means. Filter. Blanton's stored in where? Okay, I'm not gonna read all that. You get a number on the bottle. It's like the bottles are hand wrapped. The labels are hand applied. They put them on by hand. I know because I watched it. I watched them do it in their warehouse, and I still have the video posted on YouTube. You can look it up. Blanton's. I have 4 videos, a little short, less than a minute, maybe a minute videos showing them working in there from 3 years ago. Very interesting. And the warehouse smelled like bourbon because they had this big open vat barrel, like a half barrel. It was bigger than a barrel though. It's a huge wooden vat, and they had the bourbon in it, and they had a hose hooked up to it. It was sucking it out, and it was, you know, dropping in each, filling each bottle with it, and then they just grabbed the bottle and pushed it down the row, and people sat there talking about whatever, and they were putting the labels on it. It's about, okay, now we're going to the price point. Poured too much. I thought I was pouring too much. Can't ever get it back in the bottle though. I don't like to drink too much. But then it kills the taste challenge. If the weight is different, you can tell. If the weight is different, you can tell. Well, there's a real cork. It's not plastic, that's wood cork. The other one is just a metal cap, okay? Screw cap. Okay, $60 a bottle. The Cooper's Craft, about $24 a bottle. $24 a bottle. So if it's close, that means Cooper's Craft wins. Why is that? Well, if something's $60 and it's going against something that's 24, I mean, it better be way better. If it's not way better, then it's not a winner, right? That's common sense. So you would hope, and I don't know if this will be the case, you would hope that the Blanton single barrel would be much better by virtue of the price. Now, Sonia gave me this bottle. Thank you, Sonia. I didn't buy it. Would I have bought it? Yeah, I would have eventually. I just would have been waiting probably for a long time. So let's look at the website real fast. Blanton's, it says the original single barrel. The nose is vanilla, palate, in other words, the taste, citrus and oak. Introduced in 1984, best served on the rocks or neat. I'm having a neat. Now, the other ones you can't get. Select international markets. It's made in America. You can't get it in America, right? You used to not be able to get it in America for a long time. The gold edition. 103 proof. No, 102. Okay. The straight from the barrel. The Blanton's Reserve Green label. 80 proof. So a mild version. Wouldn't you like to try the mild 80 proof? But you can't get it. Cooper's Craft. Flavor. Oh, the nose. Light toasted and fresh oak character mingle with baked apple sweetness and citrus custard. I never had a citrus custard, so I don't know. A true sipping bourbon with soft lemon custard and baked apple notes layered over a bed of toasted and fresh oak character, seasoned with a light dusting of spice. Yeah. When I read these descriptions, it doesn't always seem to match up with what they're saying, but I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm saying that maybe I can't detect those elaborate features. Get on the tap into your beer. Tap into your beer. Maxwell is in Russia. You can type in the Russian language, your date of birth, and it'll all be in Russian, and the letters will be in Cyrillic. And they'll have elaborate descriptions of each Anheuser-Busch product. Things like Natty Daddy. Somebody was asking me about Natty Daddy, and it'll talk about with a fruity nose and a blah blah blah, you know, taste and all this. And I'm like, I don't know, but it's probably accurate. They got these people, that's their career, tasting stuff at the distillery or the brewery, and they're writing up copy. Now, common sense will tell you that they're going to talk about how great it is. It's their product. They're trying to market it. They're not going to say, well, it's okay. They're going to talk about how good it is. And then we, the reviewers, the common people can decide if it's really that great or if it's not that great. The appearance, I think this is the Cooper's Craft because it's darker. Now, in my opinion, and my friend David agreed, I felt like the Blanton's was sort of like it was sort of a fancier Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace run you about $23 a bottle, about the same price as Jack Daniels. And he was like, yeah, but it's a single barrel. They just pick a single barrel. Does a single barrel mean it's better than a blended straight whiskey? Where it's a blend of barrels. They were saying on the distillery tour that it isn't any better. It's just like they weren't saying it directly, but it's what they meant. They were saying basically in so many words, it's a gimmick, okay? We pick a barrel. They said that at Jack Daniels too. And people think that, oh, it's a single barrel, it's better. It might be worse than the blend, but people in their mind think this, so they pay 3 times as much. It's like Gentleman Jack. They're taking Jack Daniels, filtering it through the charcoal, and then they're mellowing it a second time through the charcoal. So they're making it thinner and blander, but people pay more for it. So it's funny how you could take less and charge more, but oh well. Oh, that smells like corn. Corn. Hey, I want to go eat some corn. I got to stop doing this, right? Eating grits for breakfast and then doing liquid grits. You say you're just very caustic and you're very cynical. I'm not really caustic and I'm not cynical. I'm saying the grits smelled like what I'm about to drink. Taste. I wouldn't drink whiskey at 5:30 something in the morning and 5:40 something. I have some kind of boundaries, but well, hate to say it, but that's what it tastes like to me. I ate it and now I'm drinking it. Grits. Yeah, with charred oak, of course. What about vanilla here? They'll say vanilla for bourbon, but it isn't really vanilla. Go get a vanilla bean and smell it. It's not the same, but it's an approximation of what it smells like. Those vanilla beans will almost make you sick to your stomach if you smell them too much. The strength, it's like, it's so concentrated. It's almost like some kind of cleanser in a bucket. Oh man, you only need like the tiniest little bit of the vanilla bean in it. Ooh, this doesn't have as strong of an aroma over here. It's kind of vanilla, it's kind of charred oak, it's kind of corn grits. They're kind of like the same in the aroma in a generalized sense. Are they the same in particular little areas? No, and none of these are ever really, but I guess most people look at these in a general sense. So they're not cutting it that fine. People are drinking these bourbons. They're not saying, oh, but this, oh, but that. You say, I know some people, they're like really big into bourbon. They're like bourbon nerds, bourbon geeks, whatever you want to term. I guess geek would be better. And they just phone call. I'll have to call back. And they're just so into it, But yeah, okay, I understand that. But most people aren't like that deep into the dedication of it. So therefore you just get most people looking at a general sense of it. Now I'm going to go to the tasting. Let me get this phone over here because yeah, I know who it is. I'll call him back. I don't take calls before 6 a.m. anyway. I don't call people that are. I wouldn't do it. All right. Anyway, but it's no big deal. But I'm not. I'm doing something right now. Taste. Charred oak. That whiskey candy flavor. A little citrus, I guess you'd say. See, we get these things in our minds, so then we believe it, but maybe it's not really true. A little dried fruitcake fruit, you know, all that stuff. Tastes like the proof might be higher. Now, I think that might be Blanton's. Luckily, it's still kind of dark here, but I mean, it's daylight outside. I mean, the sunlight is coming in. Y'all have seen, if you go back and watch when this video first started to now, you see it's lighter in here. That's why they call it Dawn Busters, because we're, you know, breaking through during the dawn time. All right. You see that it has that strange dry wood and bitterness. I'm getting used to it, kind of like at first I thought, ugh. He said Cooper's Craft is bad, and I agree. But now I'm not agreeing so much. It does have a bitterness. Why would whiskey be bitter? Bitter. Why would bourbon whiskey be bitter? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's an oddity. I think my score would go up compared to the first time I tried it. But I'm not totally thrilled with it, but I don't dislike it at all. I never disliked it. I wouldn't give something a B if I disliked it, right? Plus, I only paid $9.99 on a super duper sale, right? I didn't get a sale price. I got a super duper sale price. Especially for Blanton's, free is your best price. I got it for free. Yeah, it's just a dry wood. This is dry wood, dry. Now, when you get the Jim Beam, regular old, you know, Jim Beam, it'll taste like green wood. See, green wood. Yeah, like the wood is not dried out and cured. It's just like they cut it, freshly cut oak. And then you got that cellar mold. Now, there's some descriptors I bet you won't ever read on a bourbon website. You know, our bourbon has a distinct aroma of cellar mold and green wood. Yeah, you think, oh, that's terrible. It sounds horrible. It isn't horrible. It's strange. And it's distinct. And that's why I kept getting it correct. When I was doing the Jim Beam taste challenges, I kept getting them right. Because it's that unusual. Now, the Prohibition repeal, you know, the non-chill filtered 86 proof didn't seem to have as much of the dry, you know, the green wood and the cellar mold. A little different, a little more developed, a little better. Okay, neither one of these have an age statement, y'all. So how old are they? I don't know. At least 4 years. At least 4. If you don't want to put an age statement on a bourbon, don't put it. No big deal. But the government says it has to be at least 4 years old. Otherwise, the age could be 100 years old, but it has to be at least 4. The youngest whiskey in the mix, which in Blanton's case, there is no mix. It's coming from a single barrel. Okay. Caramel. Yeah. That dry wood. Well, I know one thing. I know this much. There is no way that $60 is justified compared to the $24. I'm sorry. Now, the Blanton's people, meaning Buffalo Trace, meaning Sazerac. Sazerac's going to say you're a traitor. You betrayed your own hometown because we're headquartered right there, 29 miles from you or whatever, 30 miles. But you spit in our face. You turn your back on us. You're giving somebody from way up in Kentucky a better evaluation. I'm sorry. You say, well, I bet you if Buffalo Trace, Sazerac starts sending you all kind of glassware and T-shirts and caps and free bourbon, your evaluation will change. Oh, come on, don't think like that. That's terrible to think that way. Probably wouldn't hurt, but you know what I mean. But I'm sorry. All kidding aside, and all serious kidding aside, and that's, some people would be set off by that. Go jump on Facebook. He said it. I heard him say it. If they send him swag, it's like, okay, you know, you ever heard of a sense of humor, but also consider the fact that that's never going to happen. Okay. No, I don't see that it's $60 being justified relative to the 24. So if I had a choice between these, which one would I buy? I'd buy the $24 one. Maybe 23 if I got lucky. $9.99 if I really got lucky at Mathern's, but that, you know, that's not likely. Sorry, Blantons. You got a prettier round bottle. You got a fancy horsey on the cap with a real and a jockey, and it's nice collectible, single barrel. I'm so excited. But $60 ain't making it. I'm going to pay the 23 or 24 and be happy. So sorry to say, you lose. Y'all want to see the 2 whiskeys I bought Thursday? No, it was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. I forgot. I went to buy some caulk at Walmart. You know, caulk, CHALK. And then I was passing, I bought it, and then I was leaving, and I passed by the liquor section. I said, let me just see if they got anything on discount by some chance. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't pass it up. Now, I know what you're going to say. Didn't you just preach and make a long sermon about how you don't need any more stuff? And I'm like, yeah. But for that price, look, for that price, you don't even care if you don't have room for it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't even care. You just can't pass it up. Can't pass it up. Can't pass it up. I mean, you could, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. And then I had to show people on alcohol eggs, and they were like, oh, I can't believe it. I said, I can't even believe it, and I bought it. All right. Oh, man. This is so close. These two are so close. Which one do I prefer? Well, I prefer both. Okay. But you know, the final judgment is price, price, price. When you got 2 products that are almost the same in flavor, aroma, body, finish, appreciation level, international enjoyment units, IEUs, you shop price. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I'm telling you, I'm going to go with price every time. Why would I pay $1 more for something that's not $1 better? Answer, I wouldn't. Boy, the Blanton people are coming after me now. But that's the risk you must take on the internet when you do taste challenges. If you're not willing to take the hits, then get off the internet, stop doing the challenges, and go hide somewhere. But I'm doing them live. It's not staged. It's not edited. I didn't shoot a video, watch it, and then didn't do a second recorded one after I'd already tasted the stuff so it looks smooth and presentable. No, 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 no. So last chance. I think that's the Blantons. Now, if I look underneath and it says Cooper's Craft, then I'm wrong. And that'll be even more supportive of the fact of the contention that they're not that different, which will sound bizarre. I know you'll say, you're wrong. I hate you. They're so much different. In your mind, if they're that different, that's a good thing. And you could pay the $60 and be satisfied. From what I'm seeing, and I can only taste stuff for myself, you can watch a video seeing what I'm tasting. You can taste it on your own. This is my experience. Okay. Oh, it is the Blantons. OB, that means other bourbon. This is CC, Cooper's Craft. Once again, Cooper's Craft stands out, and maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way, depending on how you look at it. But it stands out because what? That strange dry wood and even a perceived bitterness. Now, I didn't perceive the bitterness too much this time. When you taste challenge one thing against the other, it'll bring out things that you never thought of before. And then it'll eliminate things that you had thought of before. So I will always say today, tomorrow, in the future, forever, you want to do something worthwhile, I mean, you know, in the context of drinking, do the blind taste test. Do the blind taste test. Not looking at what's in each glass because you're looking at it. Blind. Blind. I was talking to a salesman for Budweiser yesterday. Salesman for Budweiser. And he likes to talk about these kind of theories and everything. I said, blind taste test is the most important thing. He said, agreed. And we were talking about a certain product. And I said, people hate on this product because it's an easy target. But how many are doing the blind taste test? He said, exactly. That's the key. But a lot of people won't do it because it's too risky, right? If you've made bank, so to speak, if you've made bank on attacking various products, and then you do a blind taste test and it shows that you can't tell one from the other, and you just did a 10-year career on disparaging a product, you're not going to take the risk because you're going to say, oh, you know, what did I say? Good morning, Jay. Have a wonderful weekend. You too, Tommy. Joe Biden's dentures. Success. Like Iggy Pop said in 1977. Success. All right. Ron, do you think most light beer drinkers could tell the difference in a blind test? I don't think they could, but it depends what the products were. I mean, if it was Minhas, you know, like that Costco light beer, Kirkland's Best, I'd hate to see their worst, against Bud Light, yeah, you could tell that because Kirkland's is so inferior, so monstrously inferior that you could never get it wrong. I don't think even a casual person would get that wrong. I drank Coors Light yesterday at the spaghetti dinner. It was kind of slow yesterday. I guess people are tired of Knights of Columbus dinners. Plus the restaurants opened up again yesterday, you know, dine in. So that's going to kill. But we were making a fortune the first 4 weeks, believe me. Couldn't keep up. But I drank Coors Light yesterday. It was good. It made a weird pop, though. When I popped the cap, it didn't go. Psh. It went like. Psh. It was almost like it was leaking already. Like there was not a great seal on it. Didn't taste flat. But, you know, that goes back to the argument that many people make that cans are better than bottles because bottles can have a slight leak, that the cap is not totally tight like you think. I don't know about that. I don't disagree with that, though, because when I pop a can open, when I pop a top, a can is always, you know, a lot of back pressure. Bottles sometimes will be weird. Sometimes you open them, they make no pop. It's just like you can hear the metal scraping on the glass. That's a real bad sign. And there's no spritz coming out the top. You know, the water vapor. I get the heebie-jeebies when I see that. I think, uh-oh. Man, I broke open some whiskey bottles, you know, used, you know, ones that are down to the bottom 10%, and they'll pop. They'll do that. Like my sound effects. And I'm thinking, oh, there's a pressure buildup in this whiskey. A pressure buildup. 90% empty and it's building up. Now, you say, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. Whiskey will not ferment after it's in the bottle. Okay. I'm not a scientist. Well, that pressure's coming from somewhere, right? It's coming from somewhere. Now, what's the scientific reason for that hard pressure release? I don't know, but I hear it and I know it. So you say whiskey won't ferment further in the bottle? Fine. I don't even take issue with that. All I'm telling you is there's some reason it's releasing the pressure. Now, my friend David was saying that it would get stronger in the bottle if you leave it out, you know, in a closet somewhere in the dark. I said, no, the experts on the internet say, no, it can't happen. But I don't know. That pressure's coming from somewhere. All right, anyway, well, cheers to Cooper's Craft, because you beat up on Blanton's today. I thought there was a chance that Blanton's could get beat, yeah, based on price, but I never thought it was going to get rolled. I mean, it got rolled. Ron, do you think? Oh, industry certainly seems headed toward cans. Oh, it's there already. It's not headed. It's there. Thanks, folks. Now I'm off to watch the news.